Champion of what?
A champion of what?
I can drop a world lead, I don't even like running. You gotta run fast just to go and get some money. I'm Noah Lyles K, you know how I'm coming. I ain't going to no Olympics, I ain't running, I ain't jumping. I can make 100,000 at the crib being funny.
So this is my TikTok right here. I made this video, so we gonna watch this shit.
We should get rid of field events because they're holding track back. He said, what's your opinion on keeping jumps? That's still explosivity with legs similar-ish to running. So just no throws. No, I think jump should be really the first shit to go, but all field events gotta go.
Yes.
When people come to track meets, they come to see people run.
Literally.
They not coming to watch no field events. When the average person thinks of track, they think of running. They're not thinking of no long jumping and no throwing and no pole vaulting and no shit like that. And just think about it. At the Olympics, the 100, we know Fred, Keyshawn, and Noah were on that podium. We know Tobogo, Kenny, and Noah were on that podium. We know Julian Alfred, Sha'Carri, and Melissa Jefferson was on that podium. We know Gabby Thomas, Brittany Brown, Julian Alfred was on that podium. But name me the 3 people who was on the podium in long jump. And
We don't fucking know.
In long jump, I had to look that up. But who the hell got second and third? Triple jump. Who the hell won the triple jump for the men?
We don't know.
Who got second and third?
We don't know.
Who won the discus?
We don't know.
Who got second and third? We don't know.
We have no clue.
But we have to pay them equally as just say the person who won the 100 when they don't deserve equal money. That's like paying the star of a commercial and then paying the background people in the commercial the same amount of money. They don't deserve the same amount of money because no one's coming to see them. We should get rid of field events because they're holding track back. He said, all
right, guys. So I want y'all to, before I even share anything else, because let's just say this. So we often say things like, oh yeah, track isn't entertaining. The athletes, they have no personality, this and that, right? So that makes them bots, correct? So if we have a track meet that's 4 hours long, full of bots, that wouldn't be entertaining, would it? Of course not. So why would it not be a good idea to eliminate some of these bots from the meet so we can spend less time with the bots? Because let me tell you something, things that you don't have to be around that long are very tolerable. When you have to be around some shit for a long time, you start finding the flaws in it and that makes you dislike it. That's why I tell people, when you get married, you should buy at least a 2-bedroom house, because in this house, if you and your wife can have space when y'all need it, y'all are more likely to stay with each other longer, and stay in love longer. But if you and your wife gotta sleep in the same bed every night, do the same thing, you gotta be around her all the time, guess what? You're more likely and more inclined to fall out of love, because things that are around you a long time will annoy you. So if we got to be at this track meet for 4 hours around shit that we already don't like and people who we don't already like and respect, that's going to make us not like them and not like the things that they do. And that's going to take away some interest. So if we shorten the time in which we have to be around them, the interest will stay fairly high. Doesn't that like make sense to you guys? It's like, are y'all with me on this? Like, are y'all, am I saying something that's out of the ordinary that doesn't make any sense to you guys that I gotta go into detail further about? Let me know, because I don't want to move on in this classroom and these students ain't getting all the instruction because we got an exam coming up and I want to have A's across the board. I don't want to have to curb the test average because y'all done fucked up the test average because y'all wasn't paying attention in class. Y'all got y'all notebooks out, y'all taking notes? Because I don't want to move on and some people ain't got it and some people do got it. See, I'm gonna have to post a clip to this video too, because a lot of people some people just need things broken down to them. Like they need something explained to them. They're not good with reading with an understanding, or reading and making an inference based off of information that's not provided for you. So you can't just read a headline or just read a title and just figure out what it means. You need it broken down to you. Use that person in that classroom that had 4 students but 7 teachers. And for some reason, when nobody in the classroom on the sports team, but everybody wearing helmets from different sports type shit, and everybody on wheels, if that makes sense. But they wasn't skateboarding. You was in that classroom, had to be. But I just want to make sure that y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. To be honest, let the Rollings have fun. Yeah, in high school, I totally agree. I'm just speaking at the professional level. Even in college, I think in college they should keep the field events. I mean, granted, no one's watching them, but you got to think about it. At the same time, high school meets. I mean, college meets. They're not doing them to make money because it's not profitable in college. So you can have whatever, but I'm talking about filling stands because people are paying money. You have to pay athletes. That's what I'm saying. You need to fill that shit up so you can provide the most money and make a return on your investments, in which you have to book this venue, you have to pay staff, you have to pay the athletes, you have to pay agents and this and that. So I'm saying for those type of events, you have to generate the most possible money. And you mean to tell me a field event is going, you know, is going to provide extra money for it? No, it's not. So professionally, track and field doesn't need to be a thing. Track and field need to be separate, because if you think about it, it's not like they have to coexist or they just like yin and yang and they both benefit each other. Field doesn't benefit track. Think about this. If you have a track meet, if it's only just running events, it will sell out if you take the stars in the sport. Hell, you don't even have to have the stars in the sport. If you just have regular fucking athletes, now just have a field meet with no running, just all field, and watch the numbers on that. It's gonna look like a WNBA game in a 75,000 capacity arena. It's gonna look like a elementary school graduation in a college arena. It's gonna look stupid because no one's gonna be there. So track helps field, but field doesn't help track. So why should field be a thing? And tell me this: they like in sports, they can't. I mean, in track, they can't pay that much money to like the real stars in the sport, because field doesn't have really any stars. I mean, you got like Mondo. Like, we know him for his performances. Like, we go out of our way to watch pole vault just because Mondo's pole vaulting. No other event can we say, oh, we went out our way to watch this. Like, even like with the long jump, I don't know who won the long jump at the Olympics. I had to go Google it. I didn't even bother to even Google who won the men because I didn't give a I said, who won the women long jump? It said Tara Davis. I know Tara Davis. I see her online, but I did not know she won the Olympics in long jump. So why should the person who, like, prize money wise, and all events aren't equal, why should the person who win the long jump get paid the same much as the person who won the 100 when no one watched that person win the long jump? If no one is people bought all of these tickets and they're watching these running events and they're not paying attention to those people over there, why should those people get paid equally to the people who everybody came to see? That's just like, bro. So I did this Nike commercial for the Olympics. Actually, if you watch the Olympics, you've seen the commercial. I did this Nike commercial with Jakob Ingebrigtsen. I was like running in the background. We was like in Flagstaff doing the video. I mean, like doing the commercial, shooting all day. I was in the background. Don't get me wrong. I made, I'm not going to say the money amount, but I made over $10,000 for being in the background of the video on the commercial. I know bro probably made 300, 400,000 from this commercial. Why should I get paid the same amount as bro? And they came to see him in the commercial. They didn't come to see me. I'm not the person that signed to Nike. I'm just in the Nike commercial with bro because they come in to see bro. So when they doing their payouts, it's because real life is logical. And like real life activities, when it comes to like making business decisions in real life, they think logically. How come in this business, which is an amateur business, and it's only amateur so the people at the top can stay at the top, and we can keep these people down here. But why should these people who everybody came to watch, just like this, if you have a hospital, right? And in the hospital, you got the surgeons, you got janitors, you got cafeteria workers, you got doctors, you got RNs, you got all types of people who work at the hospital. But don't you think these surgeons are probably getting paid more than the people who work in the cafeteria at the hospital? Why is that? Because when you go to the hospital, you're not paying for the food. Your ass paying for this goddamn doctor type shit. When we come to the hospital, we looking for this doctor. We looking for this surgeon. We ain't looking for them motherfuckers over there who cleaning the floors. We not looking for them motherfuckers over there who cooking the food. We not looking for them motherfuckers over there who cleaning the toilets and cleaning the bathtubs. We looking for the motherfucker who doing the operating. We looking for the motherfucker over there who doing the diagnosing. Get what I'm saying? The track runners getting paid the same amount as field is just like when you go to the hospital. That's like surgeons getting paid the same amount as janitors at the hospital. The two aren't equal. The two aren't the same. You got track and you got field. And it's not like it's like track right here and just field right here. Field is all the way the fuck down here. Why don't y'all understand this? And every time I say this, they try to bring up, you gotta think about it. There's over 300, 400 professional field athletes, like who has a contract getting any type of anything from a shoe company, whether if it's just clothes. But you got this many people. I said field can't stand on its own. They always say, oh, but you got Mondo. Mondo, that's 1 out of 500. He can do his own thing. He's one of them ones. Because you always have anomalies. But that's what I'm saying. It's not like I'm saying you should get rid of this in its entirety. I'm saying you should separate it from track. Get rid of track and field. Get rid of the field. It's like, is that a hard concept to grasp, guys? Let me know in the comments. I want to really break it down so y'all could get it. Let me tell you something. These things that I'm saying, it's not like they're far-fetched. The two new things in track and field that are thriving and planning to prosper is Athos and Grand Slam. And guess what? Guys, guess what? Y'all will not believe this shit. Grand Slam and Athlos don't have field events. They don't have field events. So if you mean to tell me these people who are so equal, like guys, they're so equal. Field events are so equal, and they just garner all of this attention, and they can fill stadiums on their own. Why would a person who's starting up a business, who's planning to thrive and prosper, not include them if they're thriving and prospering so well in there? They don't need no saving and things of that nature. Why wouldn't these brand new startups who's planning on being prosperous? I wonder why. Grand Slam, they're about to start up. They have $1 million investors, billionaires investors, and they plan on thriving. And guess what they did not include, guys? Like guess what they failed to include? Field events. So you mean to tell me that was an accident? What, they didn't include field events because just so many people wanted to watch them and they just didn't want all of these viewers? Or are they thinking logically? Certain shit you just cannot make up. Like, these scripts write themselves. Not gonna lie, I rarely see ads for track. So marketing needs to improve for sure. For I think about this, what do they have to market? The people in track don't, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess the people in track they don't even rock with the people in track. So how do you think, bro? This is what I always tell people. Think about a music artist. This how you know your music is good or if it's bad. When I was making music, this is what I learned. If you make a song, if your girl not getting in her car playing this song, if your close friends and family you around every day not playing this song, that shit sucks. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And if you're a content creator and you have like a YouTube channel or a TikTok, if your girl ain't watching your videos, if your friends aren't watching your videos, if your family not watching your videos, more than likely you aren't entertaining. And that's these track athletes. Track people, we not even watching track type shit. We not even liking the athletes in track. So how would you market this to someone outside? Like it's not working in track. So you gonna spend millions of dollars to push something in front of people that's already not even working in your own sport? That will be a stupid investment and you will see no ROI and track is will be in the same place. But I will tell y'all why track isn't getting bigger. If y'all want to, he said, I see NBA and NFL ads all the time. That's a great point you make. But you know why? They have a product that's appealing to everyday people. Even if you don't watch the NFL, they make their product appealing. And then when you tune into their product, that product, when you watch it in its entirety, is appealing. So you're like, damn, you stick around and they gained a new fan. When you watch track, even if the commercial is just this jaw-breaking, jaw-dropping commercial, and it's just so beautiful and it got you so entertained, and then you tune into a track meet, you won't have that same level of entertainment because you're not gonna understand what's going on. You ain't gonna understand why motherfucker running the 400 around the track and on the backstretch somebody running down the inside of the track jumping. You ain't gonna understand what the is going on. So you're not gonna stick around, and more than likely you're not gonna become a fan of something that you don't get. Everything I say, it just makes so much sense to people who have common sense. And then I be like saying these things and people be like trying to go back and forth with me. I'm like, dog, this shit is making way too much sense for us to even try to start an argument. Like, how did you not read that and just be like, wow, that shit made a bunch of sense? Like, how did you not do that? I don't understand. Yesterday, I put on Noah's podcast to help me fall asleep faster. It worked so well. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Noah Lyles, man. See, I don't like, bro. I mean, it's not I don't like, bro. I mean, I don't know him to not like him. I'm just not a fan of him in track. But I feel like that's a good thing for him because if you got people who like you, they're more inclined to ignore you because they're used to you. But when you don't like somebody, you got to keep finding reasons not to like their ass. So you keep tuning in to keep getting mad, to keep your hate going. And he tries so hard to like get track in a new place and things of that nature. So that's why I say you gotta respect that about Noah, bro. Like he trying. I mean, it's not gonna work, and he's not the type of guy to do it to even really have no influence over nobody for real. So it's not gonna work. But I really, really, really respect the fact that he's trying. But yeah, guys, let's take a look at this right here. See if I'm tripping, because I know I'm not. I just know.
So pretty much the people who run track have spoken, and we have all come to a common consensus that we should get real field events to grow the sport of track, because clearly field events are holding track back. And not only are they holding track back, by them being a part of track, they're holding themselves back. She said, bro, you gotta go. To be honest, we like, can pack stands too. Go. Fool, get your narrow-minded head out your ass. And like, then she also went under some random ass video on Instagram of some dude in college high jumping about 6'2", and just dry said, fuck Aaron Brown. Video had nothing to do with me. But let me tell you one thing that I've noticed. People who are affected by situations typically tend to think emotionally rather than logically.
Bro, I just broke this down to y'all.
Women also tend to think emotionally rather than logically. If you tell a man to make an emotional decision, he's going to make a decision based off of logic.
I'm cooking right now.
If you tell a woman to make a logical decision, she's going to make her decision based off emotion. So you aren't thinking clearly because it's about an event that you participate in. You know goddamn well field events ain't packing no motherfucking stands. let's just say they have Texas relays, and they say, you know what, we taking out all the running, we taking out all the relays, or Florida relays, we taking out all the running, all the relays, we just having field events. How many people do you think are showing up?
None.
So how am I in the wrong for just addressing the fact that
You aren't
nobody is
glorious
showing
King
up to
Aaron
watch
Brown.
field events?
You aren't wrong.
There's a reason they put y'all in the middle of the fucking field or outside the stadium where nobody can see that shit.
Literally.
While the running events are going on, they don't even stop the meets for y'all. And if you ever notice too, when they have track meets and the field events are like earlier in the day and the running is later in the day, the stands are empty as fuck early in the day and they get full later in the day when people come to running. So what field events are packing stands?
None.
And not just that, if you think about the newest innovations in track and field with like the Athlos meet, a guy who came into track and field who knew nothing about track, but he studied what worked in track and what didn't work. And also with Michael Johnson's Grand Slam, 2 brand new innovations in track and field. Why didn't neither one of them include field events?
Because they don't make money,
are packing stands. Let me tell you something about me. See, I was born tonight, but not last night. And one thing you're not going to sit here and sell me is no field.
No cap.
So start thinking logically rather than emotionally, and you'll realize field events ain't packing no motherfucking stands.
Nope.
So pretty much the people who run track have spoken.
I'm so smart.
And we have all come to a common consensus that we should get real.
I'm so smart.
Field events to grow the sport of track.
Yeah, guys, I am
because clearly field events are holding track back. And not only are they holding track back, by them being a part of track.
Should they not take field out of track? Like, am I tripping? Yes or no? Y'all let me know before we move on. Everyone knows it's common sense, guys. That's the thing that we lack in society right now. And that's the reason we believe that men should compete in women's sports and men should use women restrooms. We have lost common sense. And common sense will tell you if you're in a relationship and it's 2 people and both of these people aren't helping each other and reciprocating the same energy, then more than likely that's not a healthy relationship and it shouldn't happen. So if you're in a relationship and these 2 people aren't coexisting and helping each other and bringing equal things to the table to where y'all both can eat and grow, this relationship shouldn't be a thing, right? Y'all just said yes. So if we have track and field and this person in the relationship, the track, is bringing everything and the motherfucking field ain't bringing nothing, it's only taking, this shouldn't be a relationship, right? Y'all just told me yes. So why in this situation, in which is way more logical than just a general example, why in this example, all of a sudden the common sense gone? He said that's a friendship, not a relationship. This ain't even a friendship. This pimping and hoeing. Everybody know this. He really strong arm robbing her without strong arming her. She just giving it up. This pimping and hoeing. Everybody know pimping is a non-contact sport. They just gonna give you everything, and they just take it. It would never happen, bro, but it's happening. It's happening right before our eyes. I said this months ago before the Olympics. Before, bro, it was like January, February when I said this last year, and they was saying I was crazy and I need to shut my stupid ass up and track would never grow and they'd never have nothing, whereas track and they leaving the field out. The 2 newest innovations in track and field, Grand Slam and Athlos, they planned on prospering and thriving, and guess what the fuck they did? They took away the field. Because they realized that young nigga right there, he feeding us a lot of game. And we can keep being a fool and ignoring it, seeing the flaws, but trying not to alter nothing. We're going to get the same result these motherfuckers been getting for the last 25 years. And they said, we don't want to have them same results. So we're going to do something different. We're going to take his advice because he ain't really been wrong too many times. And you see Athlos, they had a hell of a meet out there in New York without field, didn't they? Hell of a meet out there. Hell of a fucking meet. That shit was packed and Megan Thee Stallion twerking and this and that. They giving crowns, and Brittany Brown made 80,000 that one night. If it was filled out there, she wouldn't have been able to make 80 motherfucking because it's so many filthy people that you gotta pay, and they ain't putting up equal performances. It ain't bringing in equal eyes. It ain't bringing in equal viewership. It ain't really even about your performance. You could be a hell of a motherfucker, but if you ain't bringing in equal viewership, everybody know viewership equals advertising, and advertising equals revenue. And you can't get no revenue if you paying motherfuckers the same who aren't equal. When you go to McDonald's, you ain't paying the CEO ain't making what the mother workers is making. Why? They both working type shit. They both working hard, but they ain't bringing in the same thing.